Hello friends, today we are here with the new point, new numericals of the friction, and these numericals also related to the type B. Already we have seen the basic procedure and some of the concept related to the type B, but the few of the things has to discussed, and these things we will discuss here in these numericals, because sometime they may try to give some numericals in a different way, and when they give or present the numerical in different way, that time we think that it is impossible to solve. So that's why I am here with this numerical. Come to directly numerical. So this is the type B related numerical. A body of weight 400 Newton resting on inclined plane. So here the body is inclined on inclined plane, placed on inclined plane. That means it is related to the type B. Now at an angle of 30 degree means it is the value of theta or alpha, with the horizontal just started to move down the plane. Now we need to calculate the coefficient of friction, angle of friction, and the angle of response. So coefficient of friction we know we can indicate by the mu. Angle of friction, it is indicated by the phi letter. So in the second or third video of the frictions, we have seen the angle of friction means what? It is indicated by the phi letter. Angle of response is nothing but the alpha. So let's come to the solutions how we can. But in the numerical we have seen the W has given, the W is equal to 400 Newton, and theta is given, theta is equal to 30 degree or alpha. We can directly take the theta value as alpha. Already I told you this one. And we need to find out the mu, phi, and angle of response, or nothing but the alpha. Now come to the actual solutions of the numerical. Okay, in the solution step 1, again we will follow the same procedure. Procedure is, for limiting equilibrium we need to do the summations of all the vertical forces equal to 0, and here we can see the upward arrow force is positive, and downward force we will consider here the negative. So these are the two arrows are indicating the sign conventions, and we need to draw the diagram first of all. So diagram is so simple, but the one thing you should remember here, in this diagram or in this numerical, the external force not given. Okay, if in the numerical, if they are not mentioning the external force, then no need to think over it, or don't try to calculate the external force, because already they are putting the block only on the inclined plane. They are not pushing or pulling that block, they are just placing that block, and due to the the weight of body, or due to the other reason, that body may slip or go up, but in the absence of external force. So don't try to find out the external force. External force is absent, means P is absent here, and this is the main phenomena of this, or the concept of this numerical. When the external force not given, no need to find out. If they are asking for the external force, then it is important to find out. If they are not asking for the external force, and in that case don't try to find out the P, consider the P is absent there, and solve the numerical. So we will draw the R here, because the reactions will be present there, and the W, or the weight of the body, will be here in a downward direction. And when the body, because in the numerical has mentioned the body is sliding down, so if the body is sliding down and the external force is absent, so it is clear that the body is moving in a downward direction. When the body is moving in downward direction, that means the friction will be present in between the block and the surface. If the friction is present, then friction direction will be opposite to the motion direction. so the motion is in downward direction, so the friction occurring will be in upward direction. So we need to show the arrow for the frictions also here. Now we got, if the body is sliding down in the absence of external force, means that body is sliding just because of its own weight. Okay, so body is sliding down, due to that the frictional force will act on the body and that, or in between the surface, and that will be this, and this force is nothing but indicated by F. Direction will be upward, and F, you all know, F means mu into R, mu into R. Now before going to detail or for the proper solution, always we resolve the W. So here the W force has resolved into the two component. The first component is W sin alpha and second component W cos alpha, and I already told you that the vertical component of this W will be cos alpha and the horizontal component or the inclined component will be W sin alpha. Alpha is nothing but the theta. So we have now all the forces. Let's see, this has to show this F here. So we have now all the forces. So according to that, when we think about the summations of all vertical forces, that time how many vertical forces are R, which will in a positive direction because it is upward. Then next we don't consider the W because already we have resolved it. Then R, the next force is W cos theta. These two forces are vertical, so W cos alpha is negative, so R minus W cos alpha equal to 0. We know the value of W, so put 400, alpha value is 30, so we will get the R value 346.4 Newton. Now come to the second step. Step second is summations of all the horizontal forces. Again, this arrow will indicate the positive, this arrow will indicate the negative. So according to that, we have to focus on the diagram first. How many horizontal forces are? So one force horizontal is W sin alpha, but the direction is downward, so it will be negative, so minus W sin alpha. Second is the F, which is moving upward, and upward force is positive, means positive F, so F minus W sin alpha equal to 0. This will, but we all know the F is nothing but the mu into R. That's why the mu R minus W sin alpha equal to 0. And in every solutions of numerical, we are putting the mu R instead of the F. So we know the value of R, so put the value of R into this. So mu into 346.4 minus, we know the value of W 400 into sin 30 equal to 0, and from that equation only the one value is unknown, that is the mu, and that mu value answer will be here, mu equal to 0.577, and that will be the first answer. Now for the angle of friction, so angle of friction means phi, but we already know, we have seen in the formulae that the mu is equal to tan phi. So mu is equal to tan phi. Here is the equation. So put the value of mu only. If you shift the tan here in the other direction, the tan inverse mu, so phi is equal to tan inverse mu, and mu value is 0.577. then finally we will get the answer, phi is equal to 30 degree. So this will be the second answer. Then the third answer, angle of response. So angle of response is nothing but the alpha, but according to the theorem, mu is equal to tan phi equal to tan alpha. So it means that the phi is equal to alpha, and if the phi value is 30 degree, then alpha value also will be 30 degree. So this will be the third. So new terms are angle of response, and here in this numerical the external force is absent, and on the basis of motion of these body we are deciding the directions of the friction. Okay, I hope that you got the idea about. Again I revise, in this numerical the external force is not acting on the body is sliding down just because of its own weight moved down the plane, but not mentioned because of which force. So the external force is absent. So in the absence of external force we have to mention the other things, and this is the real case in the numerical that you have to remember. And second is the angle of repose indicated by the alpha. These two terms all remember. And again, as I always say, these numericals are so simple, but the practice is important. Only the 2 to 3 numerical has to solve. If you solve these 2 to 3 numerical carefully, then the any numerical related to the frictions you can solve. Type A related to numerical and type B related to numerical, if you solve, then it is very easy to solve any numerical related to the friction, because in all the friction related numerical concept is same. Okay. And again we will see for in the tomorrow lecture the same numerical where the external force will be absent, and there you will get the another idea about this kind of. Okay, if you have still any doubts, then you can ask till that moment. Thank you.